Now, this story that we're going to bring you today is a story of a man from the beautiful island of Trinidad who is currently in ICE custody in the United States of America. Take this with a grain of salt. In this climate in the United States of America, as far as immigration is concerned, nothing is sweet right now. Nothing is sweet right now. Nothing is sweet right now. If you are an immigrant into the United States of America, meaning if you are not born here, regardless if you're here on a visa or if you're here on a green card or if you have citizenship, these are times that are worrying because of how things are being done. I've seen people who have never had to worry before because their status is good and they're in good standing, now very worried. So when we do these stories to highlight people's plight as fellow members of the Caribbean community, of the immigrant community on a wider scale, and to also bring home a reality to you that whatever you see happening to others can possibly happen to you too. So, a green card holder currently in Texas Immigration Detention Center has begged and begged and begged to be deported due to chronic pain, even offering to pay for his own flight out of the United States of America. Just let me go, please. I will pay my way. I will leave right now. Just please let me go. Could you imagine? Most people are fighting to stay. This brother is begging to leave because he is in so much pain. Why is he in so much pain, you might ask? Let's get into his story. So Dion Lewis is his name. He's 43 years old. And Dion has spent most of his life, ironically, right here in the United States of America on a valid green card for over 30 years. First of all, I am no immigration lawyer, so this is my disclaimer. If you are having any immigration issues, please contact a professional who is trained to handle such things. But with that said, I will ask though, why were you in the United States of America for 30 years on a green card? You know, even at this very moment when we're saying that even citizens are worried at the moment, those who are naturalized citizen, because there is a push to denaturalize those who have been naturalized, meaning you weren't born here in the United States of America and you did go through the process of coming into the country the proper way. You got your green card, you waited the years that were required, you were in good standing, you filed for your citizenship, you were awarded that as well. Those people, there's a push right now to denaturalize as many as possible. With that said, you still have to wonder, why would somebody stay for 30 years on a green card? I was one of those people who thought for the first 10 years or so of being in the United States of America, even though I came here as a child, I was one of them who thought, it makes no sense getting my green card my citizenship rather, because they might take it away from me for any frivolous activity. I mean, they do say that it's a right, it's a privilege, not a right, and they reserve the right to take it away from you. So I thought, why go through all the trouble of having it? But as I got older, into adulthood, I realized that there were more opportunities if you converted over from green card to actual citizen, right? Some jobs require you to be a citizen, etc. So with that said, I'm still baffled to see people's stories coming out. We've been in the US 40 years, 60 years on a green card, and is now being deported. Those are stories that are weird. But back to this brother's story, and I'm not saying he did anything wrong. I'm just saying back to his story. So he was born in Trinidad, and he is battling a chronic sickle cell disease. But he said that the detention center has failed to provide the necessary medical treatment for him. So in other words, he is in custody and they are not giving him the proper treatment that's needed to manage his sickle cell disease. Everybody knows about sickle cell or somebody that has sickle cell if you don't have it yourself. And you know how your whole health can go derailed if you are not treated properly, right? So it's only a matter of time before something really bad happens to me, Lewis said. Why haven't I been deported yet? I've been begging these people to please deport me. Now, that's ironic because, again, there are lots of people in ICE custody who are begging to stay. He is begging to just deport me. I want to be released. I want to stay here with my family. But if deportation is all that comes out of it, please just swiftly deport me. Lewis was detained in Louisiana before being transferred to Houston on June 30th, likely for a crime that he committed. Get this, back in 2002. We're in 2025, my friend. And they're going as far back as. This is why a lot of people right now still have to be worried. There are people who thought that their situation was resolved. They have gone on to change themselves, live their lives, law-abiding, tax-paying people. And now they're digging back so far into your past. And that 2002 to 2025, that's like 22 years ago, right? He pled guilty to possession of a small amount of cocaine back in 2002. In a press release from 2020, it shows that he was arrested again for possession of marijuana with cocaine and a gun in his possession. Lewis has since served probation for those infractions. Now, I'm not going to brush over that like it didn't happen, right? I've always said when you're in somebody else's house, act accordingly to the house rules. That's just simple. I normally tell my Jamaican people, left your badness at Jamaica. Bring your best self when you are come a foreign. There are lots of opportunities here for us to exploit. There are lots of things here that you can do to elevate yourself. So I'm not going to play the victim here. You in possession of marijuana and cocaine and a gun at the same time, after you had already had an issue where you were caught with cocaine previously, that's bad. That's bad mojo right there. Bad, bad, bad. You know, I'm not even gonna sit here and act like they're doing something bad to him. That's bad. So, he said, I've been in this country since I was 11 years old. Mind you, he's 43. I've been in this country since I was 11 years old. Yeah, I did something wrong, yeah? Since then, I went on to start my own business, and I've got 5 children that I take care of. And I've never been on child support for any of my children. I'm a good father. I'm a law-abiding, tax-paying citizen. I've changed my life. The boogeyman doesn't care when the boogeyman comes. Your past sins will haunt you, especially under this administration. Right now, when they're looking for any kind of reason to throw you out of this country, come on. Well, Lewis agreed to a stipulated order of removal in mid-July. A stipulated order. So he already agreed with immigration. Okay. He relinquished his rights to appeal his deportation or to have a judge even review his case. So basically he made up his mind, I'm going back to Trinidad. I don't even want to fight it. Just let me go. Lewis is so desperate. He and his wife, Roxanne Lewis, have offered to pay for their own flight back to Trinidad. But they just won't let him go. Just like that. Oh, you're going to sit your ass here for a good time. You're going to be here for a while we work this process out. The problem is, time is not on his side. Man, I can't stress enough. Do not come here and get caught up in this system. Because once you're caught up in the system, you are at their mercy. It is up to them if they even want to send you back to your own country. Hell, we've seen it. You end up in Uganda. You end up in Eswatini. You end up in somewhere over in Swaziland. You end up all over the place. I can't imagine what goes on while you're in their custody. They'll have their way with you. I think Lewis kind of brought this on himself. However, if a person wants to leave, then swiftly deport them. They're actually paying people to leave, right? In some places. It's only $100 US, but they're being paid to leave. Swiftly deport those who want to leave. But people might think that getting deported is a simple process. You just say to them, I want to go home, and you're home the next day, which is not the case. So, and that's without me even knowing, he said, I agreed to the conditions that I would be deported. Don't want my case to be reviewed by a judge or anything like that. Just send me on my way. I'll even pay for my own flight home. And that's without even me knowing what I'm going into. Remember, he hadn't lived in Trinidad since he was 11 years old, right? He's 43. Doesn't even know what he's going into. I just want to get out of here so I can get proper medical attention for my sickle cell, is what Lewis said. I'm in pain. I'm hurting. This is the worst it's ever been. Lewis's attorney, Reena Gandhi, said in an interview that every day of continued detention prolongs his unnecessary, cruel, and unusual suffering. So while ICE continues to deny him essential medical care for his diagnosed sickle cell disease, they are holding him in place long overdue. He's not getting the proper care he needs for his sickle cell. He's not arguing with them about it. He's just saying, let me go. You don't want me here? I agree. I'm leaving. I got it. Just send me back to my country, please. They won't even do that. So he's being held, he's being processed, and he is not getting the proper medical help he needs, according to the information that's being put out. Dion has been clear and consistent in communicating his symptoms and his medical needs to ICE. This is what his attorney said. Instead of providing the needed care, ICE has left him without even basic pain medication. As a result, he has endured excruciating pain, vomiting, and episodes of even losing consciousness. He is going through it. Vomiting, diarrhea, pain, losing consciousness. I know quite a few people who have sickle cell. It's a common thing, more common than you might think. Some people are battling it on a higher level than others. Some people are pretty much losing the battle, and a lot of people are sustaining it. But from all accounts that I've known, this is not something you want in your life. You're pretty much on death's door kind of thing. So I can't imagine being without. Hell, if I have a toothache, I can't imagine being without some form of medication or proper medical attention. Yank it out. I'm telling the dentist, if they can't give me something to stop that pain. So, and I've heard that sickle cell pain is joints, bones kind of pain that rivets your body. It hurts. So according to an ICE spokesperson, the agency conducts a review process before the immigrants are deported. This is just a process that everybody has to go through. And since Lewis lost his passport, his travel documents must be obtained all over again from Trinidad and Tobago. So the United States of America officials are in touch with Trinidad, and Trinidad is processing his documents, or taking forever to get to the documents and there's nothing they can do. I've told people this before. They don't want to listen. I said, no one is just deported back to their country because first, they have to check with your country to see if you are actually from that country. Your country is going to have to go into their registrars, find when you were born there, and then say to the United States of America, yes, he is one of ours. He was born here. And then does he have valid documents to board a aircraft to come back to the country? The answer is going to be yes or no. In his case, he doesn't have his passport. He lost it. So they're now going to have to get a passport, and he doesn't have a U.S. passport, so that issue cannot be handled in the United States of America. They have to wait for the Trinidad authorities to get to it when they get to it. In the meantime, brother man is suffering from pain and agony, vomiting, unconsciousness, passing out with no pain medication. So we can't even really say that it's ICE's fault in this case. It's his fault for getting himself into this cocaine, gun, and marijuana mix-up. And it's also Trinidad's fault for not expediting his paperwork. Think of it, Trinidad government is probably like, oh, they send him back another one of those. Yeah, he's not even really one of ours. Because, be honest with you, the Caribbean does not look at you like a Caribbean person. Like, Jamaicans don't look at you as a Jamaican. If you left Jamaica at 11 years old, you never came back. He doesn't even have a passport, which tells me that he never went back, right? He doesn't know where his passport is. Obviously, he is not one of those people who goes back every year and has a relationship with that side of his culture, his family who are still there, family members and whatnot. It's not like me and Jamaica, where I'm back in Jamaica as often as I can. I'm all over the country. I'm steeped in the culture, right? It's a different case for him. So with that said, he's going into the unknown. And the government officials there are like, he's not coming back as a scholar. He's not coming back as a businessman. Matter of fact, we didn't even raise him. He left here at 11. 11 to those are crucial development years. Whatever criminality he had formed in his mind, and obviously he was into criminality, that was done while he was being raised in the United States of America. He became a criminal there. He's their responsibility. But they want to send him back here and we have to take him back. We are going to take our sweet time processing that paperwork. The sad thing about this is he could die while he is in ICE custody. So according to an ICE spokesperson, they said that the agency normally conducts a review process before the immigrants are deported. And since Lewis does not have his passport, he lost it a while back, his travel documents must be obtained all over again from Trinidad and Tobago officials. So, prior to carrying out an alien removal, there are numerous checks that must be performed to verify that that alien, among other things, does not have any outstanding criminal warrants in the United States of America for their arrests, and to make sure that they do not have any other administrative holes that need to be addressed as well, right? We don't know. He could be wanted in Florida for a murder. We have to do a complete thorough background check before we deport somebody and let this murderer, serial child rapist, whatever the case may be, let him go free. We got to figure out, do a deep background check in the United States of America, plus do a deep background check with the country from which the individual comes from to make sure that that's where he's from, get the proper paperwork. Somebody argued with me and they said, SouFLo, what are you talking about? When they were ready to deport you, they just march you through the airport, put you on the plane. And I said, no, they don't. You have to clear TSA. And valid documents are required to clear TSA. They can't just march you through and put you on a plane. That's human trafficking. Then if that's the case, they would be able to move people with no record of where these people are going, who these people are. It's not true. You have to clear TSA. So even if I'm in the United States of America illegally and I decide to self-deport, I will have to contact the authorities. This is why the current administration took the Home app and repurposed it into the app where you call to say, I've been here for a long time, I'm illegal here, I'm ready to go back to my country, and they will assist you. They will assist you in getting a flight for you. They will assist you in getting your paperwork together so that you can clear TSA, get on a plane, and get up out of here, right? So there's a process to it. Now, he is the definition of a threat to public safety, and he will remain in ICE custody until his removal can be carried out, is what one ICE spokesperson has said. Safe to say, he ain't getting out of there. However, his attorney said that in the Kilmar Abrego Garcia case, Garcia did not have a passport, but ICE still deported him against his will anyways. So why can't they do the same for this Trinidadian brother? Y'all know the story about the Hispanic guy who got sent to, where did he get sent to again? And then he was sent back to the United States of America, and now they're trying to send him to somewhere else in Africa or something, right? He doesn't have a passport, but they've been sending him places, but he doesn't have a passport. So the Trini brothers' attorney is saying, give my client the same treatment then. Send him on his way too. Roxanne Lewis told the outlet that she bought her husband's prescription. This is his wife. He's married. He has 5 children in the United States of America. And his wife did an interview, and she said she brought her husband's prescription to ICE in hopes of expediting his care. Like, listen, this is his prescription. He is in severe pain. He suffers from sickle cell anemia, right? But Lewis said that meeting with the detention center's medical staff has been abysmal. They decide whether they take you to see the nurse or the doctor or whatever. But even when I do that and I go to the doctor, they basically say that there is nothing that they can do for him. They were giving me ibuprofen. That's it. And then they stopped even that too. Lewis has been held in ICE custody since June 17th of 2025, according to a GoFundMe post that has been set up by his wife, who is fundraising to cover his legal fees. I don't know what legal fees are there because he's not fighting to stay in the United States of America. So what legal fees are there? And he doesn't have a lawsuit against them. He's not fighting to stay in the US. He doesn't have a lawsuit against ICE either. So what legal fees are there? Maybe he is trying to also put some money together for when he gets to Trinidad. I mean, if somebody out here feels like they want to be compassionate, knowing that that brother left Trinidad at 11 years old, and when he makes it back to Trinidad, he's going to need some kind of startup in life, and you want to throw some dollars into his GoFundMe, by all means, go ahead, right? But I don't know what the legal fees are for. I know he has an attorney who is representing him, maybe just for his human rights are not further violated, maybe so he doesn't die in there and then nothing comes of it. We don't know. Well, Dion, he has had 2 lung surgeries due to pneumonia, which hinders him every day. And he is on medication throughout the day, every day. What is being done to my husband, his wife said, many others, it's inhumane. ICE is not treating these people that are being held right. They're there, they have sicknesses, and they're not being treated for their sicknesses. They're just being left to go through the pain. Well, It's another horror story. But you know what? We can learn from this. And I don't want to kick him when he's down, but I want to say, somebody else who is watching this, this is what I mean when I say, when you come to somebody else's country, when you're in somebody else's house, please play by the rules, man. You know, if you let me in your house, right, and I walk straight into the house with muddy shoes from outside, and I wipe my shoes on your couch and take the shoes off and then put my bare foot up on your center table and just pick your remote up and just start watching what I want to watch on your television, you would think, nah, you gotta go. You gotta go, right? Right. Well, it's the same freaking thing when you're allowed into somebody's country and you start picking up guns and selling coke and getting caught with cocaine and getting caught with weed multiple times. By the way, you're breaking the law. You're doing criminal activities. The result can be that they will tell you that you have to leave their country. And then the process in which it is done is not a favorable process. So as you can see, you're going to go through the ringers before you're even deported. He is begging to be deported. I've never heard anybody beg to be deported. That must tell you how much pain he is in. Y'all stay straight out there. I'll catch you on the next video. Be good. It's SouFLoTV. Hit that subscribe button. I'm out. Peace.